Hello, this is Coffee Break with Ninita, a daily guide of coping skills that gets us through by making us strong.
Hello. In Greek we say χαίρετε, and in a translation that means be with joy. We are returning from a brief um, silence we had during the Holy Week and the what we call in the Orthodox Christian Church the Bright Week, which are 2 weeks that are going to be our source for our discussion for especially this week. The Holy Week is a time, as you all know, where we are observing the passion of Jesus Christ, the events that took place that led to the crucifixion and to his death. And it ends with his resurrection, and the second week, which is one of the following weeks that we celebrate joy, the resurrection of Jesus. The reason I'm bringing this up, I'm starting like that, is because, like we had communicated with you, we were taking these 2 weeks um, to recharge our batteries and refresh the materials we were going to discuss from this point on. To be very honest with you, StayWHOLE is taking a lot of its ideas from the Christian faith, from the teachings of Jesus Christ. I'm saying that because I'm sure a lot of the things we bring up are very familiar. And if you're not sure where it's coming from, it is coming from the Christian faith. I want us to talk about how I greeted you today. I said, be with joy. And the reason I did that is because taking an inventory of the concerns, troubles, needs that we see, StayWHOLE sees in the people that we serve has a lot to do with pain and suffering. Not only physical, but especially mental and emotional. We see that couples, husband and wives, are disconnected. We see that children start getting quiet, depressed, or excessively argumentative. And all those things that we see and we try desperately to have them stop. We want to stop the couples from fighting and the siblings from fighting. We want to stop the kids being depressed or being argumentative and defiant. We want to stop all the arguments that take place. We want to stop it. Are you successful? Are we successful? What is that we are missing that causes this to be an ongoing problem? Yes, since COVID, it has been a long period of half emotions ruling our lives: hurt, anger, loneliness, fears, and frustrations. Are we waiting for them to go away by themselves? Often I hear myself, I find sometimes saying, I want to be happy. We say we want to be happy. What do we mean by that? Do we mean that we are going to wait, like we are waiting for the bus to come or the train to come, for happiness to come? Is this how it's going to happen? Or maybe we should replace be happy with develop, harvest joy. Now you might say, oh, come on, Ninita, you're playing with words. No, I'm not playing with words. You see, joy requires my participation to develop, to be harvested. Not only what I take from the outside. While happiness tends to be something that comes to me, that impacts me, and I am happy, delighted. And this is what I want us to do. The resurrection did not come from the world, it came from God, from within. Our resurrection also is not going to come from the world's events, it has to come from within. Sometimes we say, is there really God, or are we sort of using it as a placebo? And we do say that because inside us, the whole inside, the whole heart is filled with hurt, worries, anger, loneliness, and frustration. And to be very honest with you, we need to first do something to make room for joy in order to feel joy. We need to make room for the presence of the power of God to feel God. God is there. We are not the ones that we feel because we are preoccupied and we dismiss Him. Anyway, what we're going to focus on is what can we do when people around us give us every reason to be depressed, to be frustrated, to be angry. It is that kind of school of thought that states that we are going to tell people what we want from them, leaving them with no choice to express themselves their way. Therefore, do they express themselves their way? Of course, by getting frustrated. On the one hand, we say communication, I need to communicate what I need. And we are very high about this nowadays. We've got to communicate what we need. And that is good as long as we don't do it every time, excessively. If we, because of what we want to say, we miss what others say to us. If I say, this is unacceptable, not to be able to have your support or your help or whatever, what I'm saying is I'm imposing to the other person what makes me. But like I said earlier, we are not going to be happy if our ways of communication are not kind, are not loving, are not respectful, are not flexible. This week, we are going together to see two things. Number one, how we can communicate with others that are very much absorbed and consumed by their own definition of their needs. And the second is how we can harvest inside us joy that will lead to happiness. We first have to harvest joy if we truly want to be happy.
We thank you for listening to Coffee Break with Ninita. Our goal is to help our StayWHOLE community work through their challenges. Please join this cause by supporting us on Patreon. You can do that for the price of just 1 cup of coffee per month. Just click on the Patreon link in the podcast description below, or simply visit us at www.patreon.com/StayWHOLE. We appreciate you and hope we can help you stay whole.